Francis Cardinal George play, a hero with great patrons. It's only happened once so far that a person who attended a Catholic school in our archdiocese came back to become our diocese's top leader. That's one reason to listen close to our play. Maybe someone here could become the second person to do that. We'll highlight some of the important points in the life of Francis Cardinal George, who was our leader just before Archbishop George, our current leader. We'll start with Scene 1, the very early life of Francis Eugene George.
We'll name him Francis Eugene. That has a nice ring to it and a long-time family name as well.
That sounds good. Francis E. George sounds pretty promising to me. Who knows what it'll be?
Francis grew up to attend St. Paschal Catholic School on the north side of Chicago. The next two scenes occur there. One when he was in first grade, and the second one when he returns to grade 8 after a 4-month bout with the disease of polio. Scene 2, grade 1.
Francis, we'll kneel here with the rest of the class while we wait for Mass.
Sister, can I get more holy water?
Once is enough each morning, Francis. You only take 1 bath a day. Your soul only needs 1 time a day with the holy water.
But after Mass,
Sister, what do the bells mean?
It means Jesus is coming on the altar and changing the bread into his body.
I see his body on the cross, but I can't see him coming on the altar.
You don't have to worry, Francis. Lots of things really truly happen that we can't see with our eyes.
I suppose like Mom and Dad can't see me being good here at school, but I am.
And they believe me when I tell them, so you can believe it when people tell you Jesus comes down on the altar.
Well, yes, just like I believe my soul is made clean when I use the holy water.
You're getting it, Francis. Now let's follow everyone else and get back to the classroom.
Over 7 years later, listen in. Scene 3, grade 8.
I'm so glad you are back, Francis. The class has missed you.
Thank you, sister, and how I miss being here.
Recess just wasn't the same. We hardly ever got everyone together on the same game, like when you were here.
It's not hard, just everyone don't argue. Recess is so short, why spend time arguing?
Okay, class, we can do better again, now that we have Francis back, especially on the history questions. We are getting up to in our study almost what are current events. Like, what is General Eisenhower now doing with his time?
My guess is he's preparing
to be president. Think of Washington and Grant. They didn't stop at being generals. I don't think Eisenhower will either.
You'll end up being right again, Francis.
And Francis was right, of course. During President Eisenhower's second term, Francis wanted to study for the priesthood and did so with the OMI, or Oblates of Mary Immaculate. Here is 20-year-old Francis and the leader of the Oblates talking. Scene 4, joining the Oblates of Mary in 1957.
What is your interest with us, Francis?
Well, the life of the founder, Eugene de Mazenod, is rather inspiring, and it doesn't hurt that he and I share a name, Eugene being my middle name. I believe in the help of patron saints, of course.
We are glad to have you. You'll have to let us know what you need to maintain strength.
Just give me some great books and good teachers, and I'll do just fine.
And he certainly did do just fine. Once his studies were over, he went on to teach others at several institutions of higher learning. Let's lean in now as he's talking to a philosophy class. Scene 5, University of Tulane days as a professor.
And those are the Aquinas principles, distilled down, of course, one of man, that Thomas Aquinas.
Father Francis, who is greater, Aquinas or Augustine?
Although the Dominicans and the Augustinians might disagree, but they both were the lights of their time equally. Aquinas in the 1200s and Augustine in the 300s.
In other words, they both responded to the world around them and really used their head.
And there may be some in this class with a future just as bright. Just keep reading and learning.
After some time, the Pope set up Father Francis as a bishop in a moderate-sized diocese in Oregon called Yakima. Scene 6, Yakima years. Here he is in Oregon talking to parents of a 4-year-old boy who's been diagnosed with leukemia.
Bishop, we are devastated. Our boy here has this serious disease and we are at our wits' end.
When we are at the end of our rope, it is God who grabs on even harder. We'll all pray for your boy and you. If it wasn't for my parents' prayers, I might have succumbed to polio when I was young.
Thank you, Bishop. Can we keep in touch with you?
Of course, and when you have a peaceful moment, pray for me too.
Bigger pastures were awaiting the shepherd, so after a short stop as Archbishop of Portland, Oregon, he landed here in Chicago in 1997. A whole separate play could be made of his many years in Chicago, but we'll keep it to 2 simple scenes that show us his support of Catholic schools and his dependence on prayer, especially since he began a battle with cancer in 2006. Scene 7. Cardinal George's years in Chicago. In this scene, he is visiting St. Mary of Częstochowa School, Cicero, Illinois, during Catholic Schools Week 2006, just before being diagnosed with cancer.
Bishop Paprocki told me this would be a good place to see Catholic education in action.
Yes, Cardinal, our families very much want their children to become strong Catholics.
And the schools started out almost all Polish, but with the transition of 100 years, now we serve over 90% Hispanic Americans, but both groups are very religious and Catholic.
We must keep our Catholic school strong. It is one of the best ways to keep the church strong. Thanks for sharing your students' enthusiasm with me.
I'll pack up your stuff in just a few minutes. You visit all the rooms now.
The songs the students sing each room and their homemade cards are the best.
Also, here's a gift from the principal. It's Bishop Wislow's books, the one you don't have yet. You have 4 of his titles, and this is the missing one of his 5. He was a wonderful alumni of this school.
Yes, I haven't read this one. I haven't read that one yet. And what a good bishop and good writer he was.
Our last scene, Scene 8, occurs after he retired just last year, and he is talking with a group of nurses just after one of his hospital stays.
Thank you for all you have been doing for me. And Nurse Teresa, how is your family getting along?
Oh, Cardinal, you remember how sick my sister was? She's a little better. Thanks for your prayers.
Prayer is what will see us all through, no matter how sick we are. Without prayer, we can do nothing.
And so, we conclude our little play and hope you've thought about your own path someday. Will you be like Francis George's parents and raise good Catholic kids? Will you be like the nurses we just portrayed? Will you consider being a priest or nun, as in our story? We hope. Will you follow your own patron saints? We hope so, and thanks for listening.